Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another video on fighting the Taliban when they're wearing body armor and trying to invade your home to kill you. But in this video we're going to be talking about doing this with a pistol. Okay, so we've done the prior videos where we were talking about an AR-15. Right, that was the first video. Second video we talked about doing this with a shotgun. In this video we're going to be talking about defending your home against the Taliban wearing body armor with a pistol. I've done this video, I have covered this subject in prior years, but it was more of like a theoretical exercise. Okay, now it's a reality, right? Because Biden has actually given the Taliban $80 billion of military equipment. Okay, there's videos online now of the Taliban wearing American military body armor, carrying M4s. They got night vision goggles. They're in military helicopters and airplanes. They can actually fly into the United States now, or they could walk across the southern border, because Biden has also left the southern border wide open. Okay, so we don't know who's coming across the southern border and what they're bringing. Okay, so it makes sense to practice for this type of a scenario, right, where the Taliban wearing military body armor are invading your house with the intention of killing you and your family. Okay, so in the first video we talked about using an AR. The second video we talked about using a shotgun. Now we're going to talk about the pistol. With the pistol, and for this example I'm using a Glock 17. So I got a 17 round magazine with one in the chamber, so I've got 18 rounds. Okay, so now here's the thing, when we're talking about these techniques, okay, what this is based on is the military tactic, or a tactic that military vets have taught me, right? And these weren't just standard grunt guys. These were more like special forces type of guys. The exercise that they used was what they call the zipper drill. I call it the zipper drill, right? If you start the hip, which is unarmored, and walk your shots all the way up to the head. Okay, the idea here being that the hip is unarmored. Okay, it doesn't move, right, because the head moves a lot, right? The hip doesn't move so much, right? So we're starting at the more stationary target that's not armored. Then we're going through the center line, right? Maybe hitting arms, maybe hitting the gun, or maybe hitting the body armor percussively, right? And nobody's going to take percussive hits on body armor and ignore it, right? It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot, okay? And that's going to give us the opportunity to get up to the head and take the headshot. So that's the technique I was taught. And then what I did is I took that information, right, and I said, okay, how can we apply this to the shotgun? So I considered the strengths and weaknesses of the shotgun. The shotgun's weakness, of course, being low capacity, okay, and also slow to reload. No matter what type of shotgun you're using, whether it's a Lynx 12 or a pump, you've got low capacity. Okay, if you got, at best you got like what, a 10 round stick. Maybe you've got, I think I got a 20 round drum, right? Maybe you've got low capacity. If you got 20 round drum, that's it. Really hard to reload that. I hope you got sticks after that, because drums are very, very hard to get to load to get back in the gun after they come out. So it also makes the gun really heavy. So with the shotgun, we're dealing with low capacity and hard to reload. And if you're trying to reload the shotgun, the tube, really easy to drop shells. Usually what I teach people is if your pump goes empty, just start throwing them in one at a time through the ejection port, right? Now your shotgun is a single shot firearm, right? So you fire one shot, reload, fire one shot, reload. Okay, so that's how in the middle of a gunfight I would work a shotgun. All right, after the tube goes empty, I would just continuously reload it through the ejection port. So with the pistol, right? So now with the pistol, we're kind of in the middle as far as capacity, right? We got more capacity than the shotgun, but we got less than an AR-15. Okay, so AR-15, you got a 30 round magazine, all right, which is really easy to load, right? The nice thing about an AR-15 mag is it sticks out, so I can grab this, right? And also, if I have this on a magazine holder on my belt, when I reach back here, right, and I pull this up, I can feel this. I can grab this. I can stick that in there, tug it, right? Make sure it's in. Make sure, so So I can grab this off my belt, put it in there, tug it. I know it's in there. Hit the gun, put this thing back. Get the gun up and running. Okay. So major advantage to an AR-15 with a 30-round magazine. Even if you download it, sometimes people will download it to 28 rounds just to have a little less pressure in there in case the bolt closes. Right now they're not trying to jam all 30 rounds. Because remember, if the magazine's full, and the bolt is closed, that the follower has to compress a little bit in order for the magazine to go in. So a lot of times people will download it by 2 rounds. So in case the bolt does close, they can still get that magazine in there, right, without struggling too much. Now, with the pistol, right, if you got a Glock 17, you've got 17 rounds here, so you got a lot less capacity. But the other thing to consider here, even though it goes in relatively easy into the gun, drops free like that, right? Here's the thing. This on my belt in a magazine holder is a bit harder to reach compared to this. Not reach it, but just getting your hands on it, pulling it up. What I have found in practice, let me check that away. What I have found in practice is that that loading an AR magazine or getting an AR magazine off your belt or off your wherever you got it, right? If you got it, on your plate carrier or whatever you got, getting an AR magazine off your body and into the gun is easier than the smaller pistol magazine. Getting that off your body wherever it is and into the gun tends to take a little bit longer. Even if it actually goes into the gun just as fast, getting it off your body tends to be a little bit slower. So that's a thing to consider here. Okay, so we got we're kind of in the middle. We got like medium capacity, not quite as fast as the AR to load, but way faster than a shotgun, right, of any type, right, whether it be a Lynx 12 or a pump. So the technique that I have come up with, right, and here's the thing, these are techniques I have come up with. The one with the AR-15, I told you that one I learned from ex-military guys, right? And what I did is, based on the information they told me about why they use an AR-15, why they do that exercise, what they're looking to get out of it, I have used that same logic and I have applied it to the other weapons. So with the pistol, where we have that medium capacity, what I think is a good idea is 2 shots on the hip. 2 shots on the hip of every guy coming into the room, okay? So let's do just a quick refresher of room entry tactics. What can we expect? Room entry tactics are like world known at this point, okay? The Russians invading Ukraine, no room entry tactics, okay? So people have been doing this for a long time. So room entry tactics is the first man coming in, right, immediately turns to the unknown sector. So if I'm coming into a room like this, all right, as soon as I come into the room, I'm going to turn to the unknown sector. If I'm coming this way, I'm going to turn to the unknown sector, okay? Because that's where, because you could see, I mean, you're not concerned about what you can see, because you can tell that there's nobody there. You can immediately turn to the other room, to the unknown sector, and then the person coming in behind you, if you go left, they're going to go right. If you go right, they're going to go left, okay? So we can expect that, let's say, if that's my first guy over there in red, right? If he comes into the room, the second guy coming in behind them is going to go there, okay? He's going to go past them, right? Move past, and even if the first guy is taking fire, okay, he's got to go past them because he has to make room for number 3 man and number 4 man to come in. So his job is not to just get into the room and start shooting. His job is get into the room and get out of the way so the 3rd and 4th man can also come into the room. So that's an important consideration with room entry tactics. Okay, so we can expect the first guy is going to come in. He's gonna as soon as he comes in, he's going to turn to the unknown sector, and basically that's where we're going to greet him, right? And with the pistol, we're going to put 2 shots in the hip, right? Why 2 shots, right? Why not 3 shots? Well, 2 shots because we're trying to conserve ammunition, right? Take 2 shots, right? And then deal with the next guy, right? And then when the 3rd guy comes in, deal with him. And then when the 4th guy comes in, deal with him. Now, hopefully, when the first guy comes in, you put 2 shots in the hip, and he's going to go down in a bad spot where he's now in the way. And as the number 2 man comes in, he's tripping over him, okay? So we're using the first guy as a roadblock. And if we can get the number 2 man down, then the number 3 man coming in has to go over both of those guys. And then the 4th man coming in has to go over 3 guys that are now piled up at the doorway, okay? So we're using 2 shots because we want to get, basically we want to program this in our mind. Get 2 shots and then assess where's the number 2 man, because we're expecting a number 2 man. As soon as we see him, put 2 shots on him, assess where's number 3 man. Is number 3 man in? No, shit. Number 1 man is coming back up. Deal with number 1 man again, right? Because you may have to put more shots on number 1 man. But part of the reason why I'm saying program the 2 shots is so that you can then see what else is going on. Do I have to deal with number 2 man? Maybe number 3 man? Or do I not need to go back to number 1 man? So it allows me to do a little bit of thinking. And also I'm able to work within the capacity of my gun, right? In this case, it's a pistol. Now with the rifle, right? If I got an AR, if I've got this, the chances are I got a pistol as a backup gun, right? So if this goes dry, in many cases, the fastest reload for the AR, right? Rather than trying to get this out and get, the fastest reload might be going to your pistol, because chances are if you've got this, if you went to your safe to get this, you probably also took a pistol. So you've got 2 guns. Hopefully you did the same thing with the shotgun, if you're a shotgun guy. Because with the shotgun, really low capacity, I hope you got a second gun. Even if it's another shotgun, have at least 2 guns. Ideally 3 guns, okay? With the pistol, there's a good chance that you may not have a second gun, all right? If all you've got is a pistol, that might be all you have to work with. Maybe you've got an extra magazine, all right? Maybe you don't have an extra magazine. So you have to think a little bit about ammo conservation. So that's why I think 2 shots in each hip, and then assess situation. Now, one of my viewers mentioned this great point. If you strike somebody in the hip, the natural thing to happen is for the person to curl up, right? Well, here's the thing. First of all, they might come into the room, and they might just drop if they see you, right? So now basically your head is replacing the hip. So by aiming at the hip, if they drop, you've got the head. But let's say you catch the hip, right? You catch the hip, they go down, they curl up, right? Because they're in pain, right? They're on the ground like this now, right? Well, now you've got the top of their head, all right? And maybe you missed the head, maybe you hit the shoulder or something. Well, here's the thing. Hitting the shoulder here, it's going to go right through the body, right? I mean, obviously it'll damage them, right? But but that's not a lethal hit. But if they're curled over like this, and now you hit the shoulder, now that shot's going to travel through the body, hitting organs, okay? So that's why the hip shot is going to stop them, because nobody can really stand on a broken hip. It will create a better opportunity for you to take that follow-up shot if you need to take the follow-up shot. So let's practice this now. I got scenario here. That's my number man. First guy comes in, right? He comes in. He's if he's coming in from that side, right? He's seeing that way. So as soon as he comes in through the door, he's gonna turn this way, because this is the unknown sector, right? So I got him. And then the second guy that comes in, he's gonna basically come in and go to that other position right there. Then the third guy is gonna go there. So they're gonna basically come in. If one guy, depending on how the layout is, if that's the middle, first guy goes there, second guy goes there, third guy might go over there. So depending on the room layout, whether it's, let's say if it's corner fed, then if they're coming in through the corner, then you can expect that they're going to spread out this way. But if they're coming in, if the room is fed from the middle, right, then first guy is going to come in, he's going to stop at the door, he's going to come in, get out of the way, because now he's got to deal with the whole room. Next guy's going to come in, is going to probably come in and go that way, right? So first guy's going to come in, he's probably going to go a little bit left. First guy's going to go right. Third guy's going to come in, he's going to go way left. Fourth guy's going to come in, he's going to go right. So it's very predictable how trained people would enter the room. And in this scenario that we're talking about the Taliban, wearing military hardware now. They've been training for this, right? This is what they do. These guys are professional fighters. These are Taliban. So we can expect that they have studied they have been taught some room entry tactics. And don't fool yourself just because they're wearing, they're dressed up in rags basically, but because they're well financed. Okay, so the people that finance them, have also sent in some professionals to train them. Those professionals are not going to be there doing the fighting for them, but they have been trained by professionals, so that you can expect that they have been trained in room entry tactics. Okay, let's put some hits on targets. Right? Number one man, then number two. I'm going to go back and forth. Okay, so I'm in my position here, right? Because I hear the noise outside. I hear the blah 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 that they do, right? So they come in. First man comes in. Get the second guy. The third man. And now I'm assessing what's going on. Shit, he's still moving. That was the headshot. Okay. So I'm not against the headshot, but basically I need to stop them first, right? Because I don't want to waste, headshots are really hard to make. Now, here's the thing, I shoot every day, right? I got 6-inch plates over there at that's about 30 yards over, at 30 yards, this big. I can pretty much hit them at will, okay? On a good day, I'll easily get 10 out of 10. If I'm, like a little so-so, I'll get 8 out of 10, okay? If I'm not having a great day, I'll get 8 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. But here's the thing, on a day that the Taliban are invading your house, you're definitely not having a very good day, right? You're not prepared for this, right? So don't expect to have a good day, right? In fact, you're having a very bad day when the Taliban are invading your house. So don't expect to get those headshots, just because you can get on the range and you can hit 6-inch plates at 30 yards. Go for the big target. Go for the big target. Put them down, and then figure out what needs to get done, right? Then you can, once they're all down, assess situation. If you see somebody, that's still moving, still going for a gun, then you can take that headshot. Now, in a situation where the Taliban are invading your house, you're not in a position to take prisoners, okay? You can expect that for the Taliban to be at your house, you can expect that they probably hit a couple of other houses in your neighborhood, okay? You can expect that the police will not be arriving maybe for a day or two, maybe a week. Maybe the Taliban hit the police station first, So in a situation like that, where you got Taliban guys in your house, don't plan on taking any prisoners, all right? You're not going to be able, you can't control them. You cannot take prisoners unless you can control them, okay? And this is definitely a situation where you cannot control those prisoners. So that's an important military, a tactical thing to consider, right? You don't want to, basically, you never want to be killing defenseless people, right? At the point where they're defenseless, but those aren't defenseless people. They're wounded people with a gun right by their feet. In their mentality, they're ready to die for their cause. So they're very dangerous people. So in this type of situation, I don't think you can be taking prisoners. You're not in a position to take prisoners, okay? So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video series. So just a quick refresher. With the AR-15, we start the hip, we zipper them right up the middle, okay? We've got lots of rounds in the magazine, so we can walk it right up. And here's the thing: if you start zippering the first guy up, right, and then you see the second guy moving in, I probably would like as I'm coming up, if I see the second man coming in, I would shift over to the second man, right? I'm not gonna have it in my mind where, hey, I gotta get all the way up to this guy's head. As soon as I see number 2 man coming in, move on, go on number 2 man, start zippering him up. As soon as number 3 man comes in, start zippering him up. 4th man, start zippering him up. And then figure out, hey, who do you have to go back and, where do you have to go back and finish, okay? With the shotgun, we got very limited capacity, very difficult to reload, okay? So we're taking single shots to the hip. We're either using buckshot or we're using slugs, which are going to be very devastating, right? It's going to put a lot of energy into the hip, okay? So that's definitely like when I was shooting these steel targets with the shotgun. Those targets were moving way more than they were doing with the pistol, and even way more than when I shoot them with an AR-15. So here's the interesting thing, since we're on the topic now. As far as, like, for example, with an AR-15, right, with 5.56. I can shoot those rims back there, right? You see those steel rims back there, car rims. The 5.56 will penetrate the steel rims, okay? Now, of course, it's not going to penetrate body armor designed to stop it, but it'll penetrate those steel rims, whereas the 9mm bounces right off of them, right? 9mm will not penetrate those steel rims. But here's the interesting thing to consider. The reason why the 5.56 penetrates the steel rims is because it's a light bullet going really, really, really fast. And that's reflected in the energy calculation, right? When I do energy calculations, out of a 16-inch barrel, the 5.56 has about 1,100 foot-pounds of energy, right? Of energy, compared to the 9mm out of a pistol has about 350, 360 foot-pounds of energy. However, when you look at the momentum calculation, right? Momentum is just the velocity times the mass, right? The momentum of the 5.56 and the 9mm is about the same. It comes in somewhere around 19 and 20, okay? So they have the same momentum. So what that means, right, and the way I have observed it when shooting things with both calibers that won't get penetrated, the 9mm and the 5.56 percussively are going to have the same effect on the plate, okay? So for example, if you were actually putting shots on the plate, you will be surprised, right? People will be surprised that the 9mm will hit it just as hard as the 5.56 based on both what I've observed and also on the momentum calculations that I have done. The shotgun, on the other hand, because it's more weight, impacts it a lot harder, okay? So the shotgun, I think, would actually have a more would actually punch harder, right? You know, when we're talking about momentum, we're talking about the ability to be able to punch something and move it back. The shotgun's going to hit it much harder. However, it's definitely going to hit them harder, but it's still not going to kill them, right? So it might push them, it might knock them back a little bit further. It might take them an extra second to recover, but they're still coming back into the fight. So that's why with the shotgun, I also said hip shot. I said don't rely on the harder hitting slugs, right, or buckshot hitting the plate and knocking them out, because it might break 4 or 5 ribs, but they still might be in the fight. However, if you break the hip, right, that's going to take him out of the fight, because you can't stand on a broken hip. You can stand with broken ribs, right? Even a cracked sternum, you can still stand, right? But you can't do it with a broken hip. So that's why I favor the hip shot in all scenarios, right? In all the scenarios we talked about. The question is, after you take the hip shot, what are you going to do? With the AR-15, we walk the shots up to the head. With the shotgun, you know, we basically take the hip shots and then assess if we need to take any head shots. And with the pistol, we put 2 in the hip and then assess, do we need to take any further shots? Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed all this stuff. I hope it was entertaining for you, because that's really the main purpose here, right? The main purpose is for us to have some fun with this. More than anything, it's a theoretical exercise, even though there's the reality that Biden has, in fact, given body armor to the Taliban and left the southern border open. You know, so even though there's that reality to it, I really intend these videos to be more entertaining than anything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop some comments below. Part of the reason why I've done these 2, because I only intended to do 1 video. The reason why I did video 2 with the shotgun and video 3 now with the pistols is because of you guys. I saw you guys seemed very interested in discussing this further in the comments. I said, hey, let's do a pistol video. So thanks for watching. Thank you for your comments. You know, if you're not a member of the channel, subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notification of new videos I put up. Hey everyone, I just wanted to add one more thing with regards to working with pistols that have a low capacity, like this G43 here. It only has 6 in the mag plus 1 in the chamber. Or if you're working with a shotgun that has limited capacity. Well, here's the thing to just keep in the back of your mind. Even though you might be low on ammo capacity, right? You've got Taliban coming into your house that have plenty of gun and ammunition, all right? So as soon as the opportunity presents itself, get to their guns, okay? Use their guns. So don't lose sight of that. Now, obviously, you got to be careful, right? You know, you want to make sure that when you approach them, there's not any more guys coming in at that exact moment. But something to be aware of, right? If you're working with low capacity, right, there's guys coming into your house that have plenty of guns and ammo. I think what was that movie? Thunderdome. Get to the weapons and use them any way you can. Talk to y'all soon.